So, hello everyone. I'm here to present my prototype that is based on badge verification using blockchain technology, as it is a part of a hackathon. So, I'm just saying that in this, my theme is blockchain. That means I have to use blockchain to do a verification process. In this, I have just mm, posted this PDF. It is actually the idea that how I try to make my prototype or my project. So from starting with, if we see that in this, what the real thing is, we have to make a verification process that is a valid digital verification, digital badge verification, and it is used to help Probashara to verify that the badge credentials are correct or the user is varied, user is authenticated. So how I try to make this. So from my idea is little straightforward. In this, what I have to do is, it is just one thing that is happening is, when someone is just creating his course, like not creating his course, just enrolling to a course on some website, then that course, when he enrolled it and when he completed course, a badge is created. So when a badge is created, then it's badge data and some of his own data, like the name of a course, like it is mainly the badge data, his credential and other things are stored on a Ethereum blockchain using transaction. Like we do a transaction, in that transaction we store the data, that is the data of, that is a badge data, so that we can verify that on somewhere else, like on Global Shala. So what we are doing is, we making something like from a demo website, and that is that we show how we take that data, and how we use that data to how we use that data to make a string that is transferred as a, that is transferred to a transaction as a input data. And this is diagram where I defining how everything is take place. So as we all know that email ID is a unique for everyone. So in a signing process, email ID is important for us, and whenever, so I use MongoDB to just mm, um, to simplify this process. As MongoDB we can store data easily on MongoDB. So what is happening there is, whenever mm, a badge is created and transaction take place, then the data is stored on the transaction ID, and transaction has a return, and the data is stored on that transaction, so which can be accessed using transaction ID. So if a person has completed a course and get a transaction ID, then he or she can give it to somewhere else, and can get is a data that is stored on transaction, on that transaction, and verify it. Sorry. So now what we are trying to do is, it is similar to that. Sorry. So that are defined, it's when the data is stored in transaction, and we got another page, and that person is verifying his data, his or her data, with that data that is on transaction. It will be clear in just a few minutes when I show my prototype. So as this is the part, I have just uploaded that PDF on the idea, when idea is just uploading. So let's get rid of this. So this is just a website where the course are enrolled. So I haven't used predefined data. So so what I do is, we just sign in from a user. So this will define when a user is sign in, then the then something, let me define when like we just use a simple password. I just use 1 2 3 4 5 6 in that. So when a user is sign in, so whenever a user is sign in, what will happen is, let me clear it. So its data is stored in that MongoDB, and each data that is stored will have its own ID that is specific, that is unique. So this ID is really important for us because all the so all the courses that we are enrolling here will have that ID, so that we can easily define that this person has enrolled on all the courses. So I have no predefined data of that of courses, so we just create some say like so this is the data that is stored on the back end of any website that has courses. Like when someone has a C+ course, so it has contained some data that is related to that C+ course. So so we just take these four because these four are important for us to create a meaningful data. And so now, and this is something that is pre-existed on a website. So when we click enroll, we are enrolled in that. So if someone is using that, and whenever I find that his course is completed, so what he's doing, he's trying to create a batch, like where he just completed, so he tried to create a batch and complete the course. So what happened here is, it is there is a process so that we can remove this, so he doesn't ask every time, but I have used this to show that everything is happening on Ethereum. So what is happening here is, we create a badge, then the badge create badge API is called. That API will give you the credentials. Batch creation is not in my theme, so I have not worked on that. So I just taken an arbitrary credential, that is a badge credential, and other data of badge is similar to that. We have course like issuer name, issuer designation, and the course organizer, course name, and how much he get in that course. So let's do transaction. So what happened here is that the transaction take place. So it will take 10 to 15, actually 20 seconds to complete that. So now so the time it will take, we just describe how it will happen. So just see, like whenever so better when I show you with code. So this is the code for that where we creating batch. So here we take the data. What will happening is that special ID what we are talking about is the ID that this person have. This, when we sign in, it gives you some ID, some specific ID. So this ID is special for us because what I've said is this ID plus university name, issuer designation, university, and a course name. I just use it and make a string so that I can send it easily in a transaction. So what happened here is taking a transaction, and whenever and we just send it into a hexadecimal form, and when the transaction hash comes, whenever a transaction take place, then a transaction hash comes back in response. So what we have done is we just when it comes in response, we stored whole data which transaction has on the backend. So till now, what will be happened? What the things that happened are, we sign in, a specific ID is created, the data of the batch is sent with that specific ID on transaction on Ethereum blockchain using transaction, and that transaction has comes back, which is then which we send to the backend. So so this, so see that it has a specific key that is related to that ID through which we are sign up, course name and everything that is a badge should have uh, are there, and some more things also be added, but I don't know too much about the badge data that have. So these are the some most important things that are found in a badge. So I just take it all this, and this is a hash. So it is an important, because it is important for us, because through this we can verify it from on other websites. So how it will happen? As the course we created, so we can go to before, and we found that we have taken a C+ programming course and has this transaction ID. So let's take like, he just want to create more badges. So we make it simple so that we can recognize what you have done, and Python course university we take like IIT Madras. Sure name is Kumulta. We can just, we just giving our teacher because we don't know too much. So like, so he's enrolled in that, and somehow he completed the course in just 2 or 3 seconds. No, I'm just kidding. So he take his whole time and complete the course, and at the end he tried to just he or she tried to just, okay, I want to create a batch and complete the course. So what happened again? As I say, this part can be removed, it can be converted automatic. So so see that this define that I am using a test network, and I don't using the real, but it is similar to the real Ethereum, but it's just a test network. So we just confirm it. So I'm defining is this ring p in this sorry, in this website you just get free Ethereums, so that it will help you in testing, like testing that everything is taking place correctly. So as we have defined it, so it will take 10-20 seconds until this. Yeah, it can I can also show that it is loading and something like this is take that much time, and but I don't want to stop the process, because the person doesn't want like I just created a batch, and at that time he just want that the transfer ID and use it on someone else. So I don't want to just stop everything that is working on website. So I have not used that loading and something process. So let's have the until that review some code. Everything is okay, so it's simple. So I think that everything will be fine. Let's see. Yeah, the second course is also created and having the same specific ID. So this specific ID will tell us that okay, the ID is similar, but that means the course is taken by the same person. And now what I want to show you is that, okay, so where is the test? Yeah, Ethereum scan. So what I want to show you is that we have done 2 transactions till now, like we have done 2 courses. So what there is how things take place. This is the hash that is related to that transaction, and this is the data. It is in hexadecimal form, but it can be converted to UTF-8 form easily. Like in Web3, it is a method to UTF-8, and it can be converted directly into UTF-8 format, like it is in the starting. So it defines that how how transaction take places. So I'm just showing that it takes place on Ethereum. So now the second part that comes with, like, okay, we have two courses, we want to verify it on somewhere else. Like what that really defines is it can be used as an authentication page, like we used Google and other things on our websites, so for additional verification. So the Gobashala can does is mm, they created their actually their website is already there. They can use this verification, like a button that on which we can click, and this page will be will pop out. So I don't have access to Global Shutter, so I don't create that, but I can show you how this will take place. So let's see. It's too much, so I just don't remember which email ID I have used, but the person who are access who are doing transaction, like who are doing verification, should know who is email ID and password. But it's not my real email ID and password, so I does not remember it. So let's see that this is the email ID that I've used and password is this, as everyone doesn't have the access to backend. So like on we tried next time one more time, and at that time I tried to remember the password. So what I use 1 2 3. So what is this happened is it verify that account. So what we have seen is we have sometimes seen that Google there is a login and there's a login process given directly by Google, like okay, just click on this and it will be directly login. So it can be used like that too. So here comes the part, like okay, so the person is a verified user. It will show that the person is a verified user, and now his transaction ID, we take the transaction ID. So we go there and get data. Okay, so we have enrolled in two courses, Python and C++ programming. So we just first take that transaction ID and put it there. So verify this course. Okay, so it is the course C++ programming IIT Delhi, and these all are the data that is on the batch. So here a batch can also be created, like all these data is just rearranged and like on a particular coordinates, date of issuing and everything. So now the real thing is how it is secure. So the thing that want to discuss here is how it is secure. So I want to tell you that it's like, think like that. Okay, so if what we have done first, like okay, just what we've done first is we have asking the person for email ID and password, so that he email ID and password and verify his account. So this, what will this happen? This will give us okay. So what I want to say is this will assure us that that the user that is using it, this batch verifier, by verifying his account, he or she assure us that he is a authenticated user, like someone is not coming and just using this page. Because what will happen here is, so when we just verify our account, as I show you that this this ID is really important here, because this ID is the real thing that how we authenticate the user or verify the batch. So I can describe it to you more clearly by that. Okay, so first I have to go in that to web. No, what is happening here? Sorry, we have taken email ID and password. So when we take email ID and password, we do a post request of that on that database. So what using a RESTful API. So what will happen here is, so let me show you where is the database. Okay, it's the front end part. Okay, this one is the back end part. Okay, yeah. So what happened here is we just send a post request on that. Like where is that? No, it's this one, verify. So what we have done is we send a post request here of our data of email ID and password, and as we all know that the verification process done on the backend. So it verified that okay, the account is a verified account, and so account is verified, and here what we get is set that JSON. So what we have sent is, in response we send a JSON format which says that the user is verified, name and specific ID. Okay, so sorry for stopping the video. I'm suffering from cough, so I have to drink water at every 15 or 10 or 15 minutes. So we are here. So the respond we are sending the name and the specific ID. So that specific ID, what is that specific ID? I showed that specific ID is unique for every person. So when we verifying an account, so if an account is verified, then this specific ID is sent back. So how it help us? So this point is how it help us. So what is happening here is sorry, when we log in, like now I remember this time what I'm doing. It's okay. So when it's verified, it asks for transaction ID. That means that your account is verified. If you have taken any courses, you have some transaction ID for that. Just give that transaction ID here. So there is a second step for verification. We all remember that the transaction ID contains a specific ID that is specific to that person. And the person that is logging here or verifying account, in response specific ID is given also there. So what we are doing here, let me show you. And if I found it easily, yeah, this. So what I doing here, I just send a get request, so like in a parameter. So what I have done is I just I have sent it in a string format, that is in that format, and I just split it. So what that contain is it contain a string that is specific key equals to that key. So I just split it by equals to. So the second part that I get is a specific ID of that person. So what is that? So I just find data that is stored in courses that has that specific ID. So that is that specific ID, that is the specific ID of that person. So this will verify as that any transaction ID that is given by that person is so as the person is verifies account, so the transaction ID is given is his or her own. That means he cannot access someone other badge by just giving someone else transaction. Like if he gives someone else transaction, we cannot find the course of someone else having the same specific ID, because let me show you. as we see there, this is the specific ID that we are sending in response. And what we are taking, what happening here is we searching for the courses that is that is exactly taken by that person. So what is happening is the course that is taken by this person has this specific ID. So we just return that course, like, okay, I will show you the second part. So what we have done is we are searching for that transaction ID, and when we get this, we just respond over that. Yeah. So what this transaction ID, so just break it into two parts. So I have cleared the verification part and account verification part, and this part, what this does, like if someone use someone else transaction ID, like I am using some other person transaction ID who just done a data science course and have done I am not able to complete it, so I think just his name is similar to mine, and I think, okay, so he's from the same batch as I am, and he has the same name, he or she has the same name. So what I can think that, okay, I can use his batch, but it is not possible because if I use the transaction ID of that person, then this transaction ID will lead us to that course, like this one, like, okay, this one course. So but this course contains this specific key, but this specific key doesn't match to my specific key, so I cannot access to any of these courses, like, so I will show you. This person has these two courses. I just copy it and paste it there, and I verify this. So if I match this C plus programming course, and all the data is similar, so this is how it will take place. So as I show you that how it started, everything is going on there. This is the transaction ID. We verified it. I have shown you the security part, that how is it secure, and I have told you that it can be used as an verification, and it can be used for verification, like whenever we click on verify on a global Shala, if it is on global Shala, then if we click on a verify, then this page is pop up, and everything that we done is taking place through this. And we can also call it as a launcher, or maybe something like that, because everyone can verify his batches from that, and when this batch is verified, if this batch is verified, then this data is sent back to global Shala page, and this data will be represented there as a batch, as we all know that how this will be represented as batch. So let's review the, I will show you the code. So how I have showed all the code about like how this take place on the verification page, and how this take place on that website. So as I told you that this website that I showed you, just log out first. So what I told you that this website is somewhere some website that are creating courses, like giving us courses and we just completed. So like, so let us log into someone else, like Mohit Kumar, like don't like take okay. We take arbitrary number 1 2 3 4 9. Okay, so 1 2 3 4. Okay, so like, and email ID what we take is it is okay, it is not easy to remember, like, something that is easy to remember. And and in the zip file in which I just giving you the code, I also given a readme part, so please read it, because where I define how Ethereum part can be accessed. Oh, sir. Yeah, as I show you that this part, as I told you that this part can be removed, but I showed this part here because in a prototype, so that everything is clear, that everything that is happening here is taking place on Ethereum blockchain. So that password would be to password like 231234. Okay, so sign in. What we are doing is like, okay, just make some other courses. She takes data science course, and university is like okay, we take Coursera. Like this course is given by Coursera, and okay, so this, it's okay. Yeah, he's really a great teacher, and a designation. Okay, so what I have done is as I told you that it is a pre-existed on website, but we don't have data for that, so I just make data here, so that it is more clear that what which set of data is important for us for verification process, and is to make it more clear. I think you understand. So I told you that this can be removed, but I showed you so that it is more clear. So let's confirm, and it will take some time. Yeah, so let's solve the Ethereum part. So how we can access this in that. So I told you about this. Here we get the free Ethereum on Ringpay test network, because it is a test network, so it is free. We can get free Ethereum when you come on this. You can find that how easily we can get the Ethereum from it. So and to access this, like this website, you found that when I click there, it is showing that it is connected. So it shows that the MetaMask is connected to that website, and it is necessary so that MetaMask is connected. Show that MetaMask is connected, so we can access our Ethereum account through this. And the thing that is necessary to know is that I have described some accounts in that, like where, just let me show you. Yeah. Sorry, here transaction, I just given two transaction IDs, like two transaction accounts, and these transaction accounts are my own accounts, so I just given it there so that I can show you. But if you are using it on yours for checking that it is working correctly, so when if you make an account on MetaMask, then it gives you some accounts, and you have to replace these accounts by the on these places, so that the account can take place correctly. So I can define it more clear on the readme paper. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, I think it's time. Yeah, so course is data science, and transaction ID is this. So let verify her account, like verify her user. I think it is the right one, and the password 231234, and verify. So here is the transaction ID what I am using. So it is the transaction ID for that course. I just put there and verify the account. Okay, so that is the data. And if you want to match that this transaction have 89p90, so we can go on Ethereum test network or ETH scan, so that you can show you that, yeah, right, it's take place 3 minutes ago. So 89p90, and that is 89p90. So thank you for watching. I'm just so everything else, if I will describe this more clearly with diagrams in the readme paper, so it is more clear. So thank you for watching my prototype.